Disha, this video is to help you with solving your systems of equations homework that you dropped off to me this afternoon because I have to be out tomorrow grading the state test. So hopefully this will help. It says a large pizza at Pallanzio's Pizzeria costs $8.60 or $6.80 plus 90 cents for each topping. The cost for a large pizza at Guido's Pizza is $7.30 plus 65 cents for each topping. How many toppings needed to be added to a large pizza from Pallanzio's Pizzeria and Guido's Pizzeria in order for the pizzas to cost the same, not including tax? Okay, so we have to set up some equations. You should always have let statements. So let's let y equal the total cost of a large pizza with toppings. Okay, let's let x equal the number of toppings. Because here you have a base amount that you have to pay plus 90 cents for each topping. So I know each topping, the number of toppings has to be a variable. I'm going to let it be x, and that way we're going to be able to manipulate that x to figure out what the total cost of a large pizza would be. So let's set up some equations. The first one I'll set up is for Pallanzio's. All right, so y is our total cost equals, it's $6.80, and then it says plus means addition, so I'm just going to do a plus sign, plus says 90 cents for each topping, and we're going to call our toppings x, so it's 0.90x. 90 cents times your number of toppings will give you the cost in total for the toppings, and then you'll add $6.80 to that. Then we have to look at Guido's. And at Guido's, the total cost at Guido's is $7.30. So you have to pay $7.30 if you want to just get a large cheese pizza. Plus, you're going to have to add on this time 65 cents for each topping. So it'll just be 65 cents times your number of toppings. So now we have our system of equations to solve. They want to know how many toppings do you need to add to each large pizza in order for the pizzas to cost the same, in order for these y's to end up being the same. So what they want you to do is they want you to take this equation or this expression for Pallanzio's and set it equal to this expression for Guido's, because that's when the cost y will be the same. So here's the equations you're going to solve. 680 plus 0.90x equals 730 plus 0.65x. You want to set those two equal to each other, and that'll give you when the costs are the same. And now we're just going to solve this equation. So I think I'll start by subtracting 730 on each side. Hopefully you have your calculator with you because there's going to be some negative values here. $6.80 minus $7.30. It's going to come up with negative 50 cents. Okay? Then you're going to keep your plus 0.90x equals 0.65x. Now I'm going to move all my x's over here to the right-hand side. How do I undo this addition? I need to subtract 0.90x on each side. Again, I hope you're using your calculator to support you. On this side, we still have a negative 0.50 equals. Then if you take 0.65 minus 0.9, you come up with negative 0.25x. Okay, so we move the 730 over. Now we move the 90 over, 90x. Now we have negative 0.50 equals negative 0.25x. Solving for x, you're going to divide both sides by negative 0.25. Negative 0.25. Let's see what x is. So if you have negative 0.5 and you divide by negative 0.25, you come up with 2. Positive 2. Negative 0.5, so that's 1/2 divided by, I'm just double checking, 0.25 is 1/4. And then that's negative 1/2 times 4/1. Yep, definitely going to come out to be a positive 2. Sometimes with decimals, I don't know, I have a hard time. I always switch things to fractions. But so that means when each pizza has 2 toppings, the pizzas will cost the same amount. So let's just check that out. Y equals 680 plus 0.90. I'm going to plug a 2 toppings in here. So that would be y equals, this is for Palanzios or whatever the name is. 90 times 2 is $1.80, so this is 680 plus $1.80. 680 plus 180, 680 plus 180, 860. So at Palanzino's, when you get a pizza with 2 toppings, you're going to end up paying $8.60. And we're just going to double check that if we have 2 toppings at Guido's, you'll also pay $8.60. So let's see. Y equals 730 plus 0.65 times x. Oops, and x we know is our 2 toppings. X you would substitute in your 2 toppings. 0.65 times 2, $1.30. So this would be y equals 730 plus $1.30. And $1.30 plus 730, that also will be $8.60. And that's what they're asking you to figure out here. They're asking you to figure out when says how many toppings need to be added so that the pizzas cost the same amount. 2 toppings need to be added. And if you add 2 toppings to each, they're going to end up being $8.60 at both restaurants. Hopefully that helped. I didn't actually run through the entire check. You would plug $8.60 in place of y, 2 in place of x, and be sure it checks, but it will. I'm going to move on to the next problem. The next one says the length of a rectangle is equal to triple the width. The length of a rectangle is equal to triple the width, okay? Triple means 3 times. That might be something you don't know the language for. If the perimeter is 86 centimeters, what is the exact measure of the length and width? Hint, a picture might be helpful to visualize. So we have the length is triple the width. So if I knew the width, I'm going to tell you the length is triple that. Okay? So that would be a picture to visualize. Here's the width, and the length is going to be 3 times that size. I'm going to go ahead and to start the problem, let's let L equal the length, and let's let W equal the width. I don't know if you're comfortable with my cursive L, so I'll make it just an uppercase L. Okay? So first of all, I know the length of the rectangle is equal to triple the width. The width I call W. So my first equation, if I want to write my equations, my first equation would be length L is triple the width, is 3W. They also tell us that the perimeter is 86 centimeters. For the perimeter, oh, this is so ugly. So this is our width, this is our length. To find the perimeter, you just add up all the sides. The bottom length will match the top length, the width to the left will match the width to the right. So to find the perimeter, we actually have 2L plus 2W, if we're going to add up those sides, and that will give us the perimeter of 86. So to find the perimeter, you just add up all those sides. So 2L plus 2W will give you 86. I already have my first equation. I know the length, they're telling me, is 3 times the width. So my second equation would be 2L plus 2W equals 86. And they expect us to find the length and the width. All right. Well, now that we have these two equations, I know L is equal to 3W. So if I have this second equation here and I know L is equal to 3W, I can take that 3W and shove it in place of L. So if I have 2L plus 2W equals 86, but L is the same as 3W, I do 2 times instead of L, I'm going to do 3W. Then I keep the rest. Plus 2W equals 86. The whole point was to just have one variable now running around, the width. So instead of an L, in our perimeter formula, 2L plus 2W is 86, shove that 3W in place of the L. And that's 2 times 3W plus 2W equals 86. 2 times 3W, 2 times 3 is 6, so that's 6W plus 2W equals 86. We're just going to solve this equation. 6W plus 2W is 8W equals 86. I'm going to divide both sides by 8. Divide both sides by 8. And 86 divided by 8 is 10.75. So we find our width is 10.75 centimeters. Now I still have to find the length, but I know the length is 3 times the width. Our length is 3 times W. So that's going to be 3 times 10.75. So if I do 3 times 10.75, I come up with 32.25. So my length must be 32.25 centimeters. Now, how can we quick check this? Well, I tell you the perimeter is 86. For the perimeter, you're just going to add up all the sides. So here, if I look at our rectangle, I discovered W, the width, was 10.75. So each of these sides is 10.75. I discovered each length was 32.25 centimeters. And perimeter just means add up all the sides. So if I add all these numbers together, I'm hoping to get 86. Let's try it. Take 32.25 plus 10.75 plus 32.25 plus 10.75. And you can do that right on your calculator. Just add up all those sides and hopefully we get 86. 32.25 plus 10.75 plus 32.25 plus 10.75. Woohoo! When you add those all together, you come up with 86 centimeters. Check, it works. So your length is 32.25. Your width is 10.75 centimeters. I'm going to stop this video and create a second one for your next two questions. I'm hoping that this is helping you, Miss Disha.